Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We have an amazing story today that will captivate you from the very beginning. At the age of 67, Vince Gill finally shares the truth about his relationship with the renowned Kris Kristofferson. This is a heartfelt revelation that may surprise, amuse, and maybe touch your emotions. It's not simply another celebrity story. Was that a startling admission? A hero's tribute? Or a secret that contradicts all we believe to be true? You won't want to miss a second of this voyage, which is filled with emotion, music, and a legacy that transcends words. So stay with me through to the very end. Let's get started. Imagine this. Country music legend Vince Gill, who has been in the business for decades, sits down to discuss one of the best songwriters of all time, Kris Kristofferson. Fans have been curious about their relationship for years. Were they competitors? Friends? More than that? Vince has determined that it's time to make everything plain. He didn't mince words when he talked about Kris, and what he said offers us insight into both their relationship and the character of Kris. Vince explained how Kris altered the songwriting landscape. Kris contributed something more profound than the straightforward melodies and memorable hooks that characterized country music in the past. His stories felt genuine and unvarnished, and his melodies had a way of penetrating your soul. The vocabulary of his depth was unheard of here, as Vince so aptly stated. It's the kind of compliment that gets you to pay attention. The juicy part, though, is that Vince had a confession to share. After releasing a song in 1997, he came to a crazy realization years later. The song's tune was much the same as Kris's Help Me Make It Through the Night classic. Just think of that. Vince, a man who has based his career on his own abilities, unintentionally appropriated a style from one of his favorite celebrities. He also made no effort to conceal it. "Hey, I think I just completely lifted one of your songs," he stated directly to Kris. It's possible that the majority of people were upset. Not Kris, though. "I don't care," was his brilliant retort. That's all. Just a person who was more interested in the music than his ego, with no drama or bother. Though it's not the only treasure Vince provided. That story alone reveals a lot about Kris Kristofferson. When Vince mentioned bringing Kris into the audience during the Hall of Fame ceremony, it was one of the most heartwarming moments. Kris wasn't the same person the world knew by that point. Vince failed to notice that he was losing his thoughts due to time. He spotted his hero, his pal. Vince will never forget the memory of being led out hand in hand by Kris's wife, Lisa. "It was a cool memory for me," he remarked. The weight of that moment, the silent adoration and respect between two legends, is palpable. Additionally, Vince did more than simply grieve when Kris died on September 28, 2024, at the age of 88. He paid tribute to him by performing his songs, the best manner he knew how. His band played song after song on the tour bus, including me and Bobby McGee, For the Good Times, and Help Me Make It Through the Night. It demonstrated how much Kris meant to Vince and was their method of keeping him alive. Vince didn't stop there either. He revealed something about Kris that truly had you thinking. "Would you describe him as a superb singer?" he asked. "Not always. But no one gave a damn since the tunes were so amazing. Isn't that crazy?" Kris was more interested in the narrative, emotions, and heart of the music than he was in having the ideal voice, and he was unstoppable because of it. Just to pitch Sunday Morning Coming Down, he took a chopper straight to Johnny Cash's mansion. He had a song that was so amazing that he couldn't wait, even though he hardly knew the guy. Kris answered, "No way," and Johnny supported him when the TV network instructed him to stop talking about being high. Vince appreciated that kind of unafraid energy, which helped to permanently change country music. What exactly was Kris Kristofferson? He wasn't like other country stars. He had a wild journey to Nashville after being born in Texas and growing up in California. Before he became famous, he was a combat veteran, a Rhodes Scholar, extremely intelligent, and even a janitor at a record studio. His singles, such as Me and Bobby McGee and For the Good Times, were revolutionary. They introduced a realism and toughness that the nation had not previously experienced. It was more than just music either. Kris has ventured into Hollywood, appearing in films such as A Star is Born and the Blade flicks. He exuded a tough charisma that was immediately apparent. He later joined Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, and Johnny Cash to form the Highwaymen, which promoted an outlaw country sound that defied convention. He maintained his humility despite receiving numerous honors, including a Lifetime Achievement Award, Hall of Fame nominations, and Grammys. His retirement in 2021 was a low-key affair. It felt like the ideal farewell when he sang with Rosanne Cash in 2023, his final concert in memory of Willie Nelson. His songs? Kris left us in 2024. They will always be there. He kept asking himself, why me? He was certain that he had the chops. His guitar playing and voice were a perfect fit for the Eagles' style. But taking Glenn Frey's place? That was enormous. The Eagles' co-founder, Don Henley, then made it clear that Vince wasn't merely a possibility. He was the possibility. Henley admired his passion, his talent, and how well he understood the Eagles' philosophy. This was about preserving the band's essence, not about filling a void. Vince's life changed abruptly when he said yes. Expectations and comparisons made it difficult, but he accepted it and combined his style with theirs. Not only was that call a job offer, but it also marked the beginning of a new chapter that he is still writing today. Health has also presented some unexpected challenges. He was forced off the road and out of the CMA Awards in 2018 because kidney stones developed into a terrible infection. Fans were alarmed, but he recovered. Then, in 2020, a cardiac ailment that affected his blood flow and lungs caused him to slow down once again. That's frightening stuff for a singer. He displayed the fortitude he has always shown by taking his time to heal. However, Vince is more than just his own narrative. He contributes by teaching up-and-coming musicians, sitting on the board of the Country Music Hall of Fame, and preserving the legacy of the genre. Despite his personal hardships, he is all about encouraging others. That's who he is. Music is his life, not just his career. Vince, who grew up in Oklahoma, didn't want stardom. By 5 o'clock, he was strumming away while his mother sung, and his father played guitar. He turned to music as an escape after his parents divorced. In the 1970s, he moved to Los Angeles, joined the Pure Prairie League, and experienced success. It wasn't home, though. He was called back to Nashville, where he could be authentic and create music in his own way. Fans are wondering what will happen to him now that he is 67 and has health issues and retirement speculations. Is he backing off, or simply preparing for more? His legacy is already established, decades of music and a heartfelt voice. He hasn't finished yet, though. What about Vince's remarks on Kris? Awe, respect, and a hint of oops with that song mix-up are all mixed together. Vince was impacted by Kris's effect and humility, and it's evident. Their tales are interwoven. They are two men who shone while not seeking attention. Vince's lyrical touch carried the tradition forward, while Kris's rough edge revolutionized country. Together, they serve as a reminder of the unifying, healing, and sustaining power of music. I appreciate you following me through to the very finish. How do you feel about Vince's portrayal of Kris? I would love to hear your opinions, so please leave them in the comments section. To ensure you don't miss anything, please hit the like button and subscribe if you like this. To see more stories about your favorite celebrities, click the video that is currently appearing on your screen. See you there.